Myself R. Amuda, Assistant Professor, Department of Information Technology from Hindustan College of Engineering and Technology. Today we can discuss about software project management. What is software project management? So whether the management of a software project is really different from other projects? Yes, of course, there is a difference between the software projects and the other projects. But for software project management, the main objective is to satisfy the real needs of the customer. And the main key ideas are planning, monitoring, and control. And the aim is to ensure whether the objective is met or not. So all these things are same for all the other projects. Why software project management is very important? Nowadays a lot of money is spent on more projects, or that is on ICT projects when compared to roads and railways. Not all the projects are always successful due to some mismanagement in the projects that may lead to serious issues. So the main reason for the project failures are lack of skills, lack of proven approach to project management, and the lack of the risk management. Hence, the software project management is a must to overcome all these shortcomings. What is a project? Actually, a project is defined as a specific plan, or it can be a work out of a plan. And the another one is a transferring the ideas from one domain to another, and it is a set of activities planned to achieve a particular goal. So it is a project. So the project is mainly focusing on the planned activity based on the size of the task. What is the difference between projects, job and exploration? So first we can say about a job. So job means repeatedly doing a well-defined and a well-understood task, but with a very little uncertainty. But exploration means there is a very uncertain things may come. So that is finding a cure for a cancer. So that is called an exploration, and the project is in between the job and the exploration. So sometimes there will be a little uncertainty to much more very uncertainty. So that is the main difference between the project, job and the exploration. What are the characteristics of projects? The project should be a well-planned one, and it should aim at a particular target. And all these works are carried out for the satisfaction of the customer, which includes more specialist and with larger technologies that involves different phases, and it should be constrained within a time and resources. The project may be a large or it can be a complex one, that it may contain some temporary work group also. So all these things constitutes a characteristics of a project. Are software projects really different from other projects? Yes, of course. We discussed the topic earlier. There is a difference between the software projects and other projects. The terms are invisibility, complexity, conformity, and the flexibility. So invisibility represent the progress. That is, in software projects, the outputs are not seen physically before the project is completed. So that represents the invisibility. And the next one is the complexity. So complexity is very much in software projects. And the next one is the conformity. So conformity means actually the software developers have to conform to the requirements of the human clients. And the last difference is the flexibility. So flexibility means the software systems has high degree of changing capability. So this represents the main difference between the software projects and other projects. What are the activities covered by the software project management? There are basically three activities covered by the software project management: feasibility study, planning, and execution. So what does mean by feasibility study? So it is a study that is done to check whether a project is worth starting or it is a feasible one. So that is it should have a valid business case, that is called the feasibility study. Actually, the information is gathered about the requirements of the proposed software application, that is called the feasibility study. And second comes the planning. If the result of the feasibility study is positive and indicates the prospective project is possible or feasible, then the project planning can be started. So that is the second point. And the third one is the project execution. So after proper planning, a project can be executed. So the execution of the project contains design and implementation of the sub phases. The software development cycle can be achieved by an organization, that is ISO, International Standard Organization, has recommended the sequence of software development activities. So here some activities are concerned with the system while some other activities are related to the software. The software development lifecycle undergoes various phases. The various phases are requirement analysis, architecture design, detailed design, coding and testing, integration testing, qualification testing. So after testing comes under the installation and the acceptance support from the customer. Let us discuss the software development life cycle. So the first life cycle is the requirement analysis. So it starts with the requirement gathering that establishes what the users and the managers require for the new system. So that is called the requirement analysis. It can be related to a function or it can be related to the quality. And the second one is the architecture design. So the architecture design represents the collection of hardware and software components. The existing components can also be able to satisfy some requirements. For new requirements, new components has to be made. The next phase in the software development lifecycle is the detailed design. So here in the detailed design, each software component is made up of a number of software units. So that can be separately coded and tested. And the next phase is called coding and testing. Here the code is written for each software unit and internal testing is done for the individual software units at this stage. So after this coding and testing, the next phase is called the integration. Here the individual components are integrated into a single software system, and these things are tested together to check whether it satisfies the overall requirements. That is called the integration testing. And the next one is the qualification testing. The system including the software components has to be tested carefully to ensure that all the requirements has been fulfilled. That is called the qualification testing. Here the next life cycle is the installation. So in this process, actually it is a process of making the new system operational and includes various activities like setting the standing data and setting some parameters, installing a software on the hardware and the user training. All these things comes under installation. And the next phase is called the acceptance support. So this is the resolving problem with the newly installed system, and it actually includes the correcting of any errors and implementing agreed extensions and the improvements. So all these things phases includes are called the software development life cycle. Hope you all got some idea regarding the difference between the ordinary project and the software projects and the various life cycles that is followed during the software development. Thank you.